Shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of the great millstone, who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing his word in truth, sincerity, Chanak, coming back with another lesson through spirit and power. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. This should be a relatively quick lesson. This is an in-transit lesson. This is basically something quick going into how, you know, these nations ultimately, they're going to take up a very enemy-like stance against Babylon the Great, and they're going to hate Babylon the Great, and ultimately go to war with Babylon the Great and burn Babylon the Great with fire, which is America. Okay, and this is something that's prophetic in the scriptures that we know, that we've been speaking about. And now the turn of events that are happening, you know, here it is. This is 2025, right? And you have a lead of nations, a coalition of nations, economically, that are coming together, as well as militarily, you know, under the banner of Brics. All right, and you have a multitude of nations that are, you know, signing up and being drafted into Brics, like Nigeria. I'm not sure if they're not a full member yet, but they, I guess, signed the charter to be part of the Brics and have been like accepted into the Brics. I'm not sure if it's all the way official. All right, but you have all type of nations that are linking up with Brics. A lot of it is due to the different sanctions and the tariffs, the embargoes, the economic warfare that America has been waging upon all these different nations. So they're linking up now. They're linking up, and then they have the big two superpowers, Russia, mainly Russia, but also China. China is a superpower as well. China has nuclear missiles as well, and China is an economic powerhouse. So you have the collective West, which is America, NATO, and the EU. And then basically you have the rest of the world. And the rest of the world, they're linking up. Okay, they're linking. I want to get Obadiah. They're linking up economically. And you have more nations that are being drafted into the Brics, which is going to isolate America. And then ultimately, according to Revelation 17, the EU nations, they're going to break away from America. So it's not going to look good. And everybody already hates America. It's just there's a point in time in which the Most High is going to allow these nations to break away fully from America. Give me a second. Okay? And we kind of see that, all right, with this economic powerhouse, the Brics nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. But then you have more nations that have been added that make up a little bit more or close to half of the world GDP, half of the world's trade. Okay, I want to get Obadiah verse 3 says, "The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks," or the cleft of the rock, "whose habitation is high, and have said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" And as of right before Biden left office, under Biden, they officially made the eagle America's, the eagle, the official bird of America. It wasn't the official bird. Symbolically, it was the bird of America, but now it has become official, which just goes to show you that America, that the prophecy speaking about the eagle is synonymous with Esau in the last days, as in Esau throughout his other rulerships as well, like Rome, which they're likening America, okay, to Rome. Okay, just give me a second. All right, they're likening America to Rome, and they're likening Donald Trump to one of those ancient Caesars, which we believe through the Spirit that he's Nero coming back. He can also be Julius Caesar as well. All right, there's many different parallels. All right, between ancient Rome and modern Rome, which is America. Okay. It says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle," that's the point. Okay. "And though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord." And you're starting to see that America is not like that military super. It's still a superpower. I mean, these nations don't want to go to war with America. America does still have, a big nuclear arsenal. It has the second biggest nuclear arsenal, so-called on paper. Okay, and if nuclear missiles are shot off, the nations know that assured or mutual assured destruction. So they don't want to go to war, but the Most High he's going to draw them into this war. All right, like it says, and let me get Ezekiel, because who's at the forefront of really this coalition? Pretty much the rest of the world. They call it pretty much the East. The East and the Southeast, they're pretty much linking up with each other and saying, well, shit, we'll just do global trade with each other. All right, America's put all them sanctions on Russia. Russia was like, well, shit, we gonna sell our oil to China and to India. Okay, we gonna link up with the rest of the world. It's not like America, this is not the old days anymore. This is not the good old days where America was, it was that shit. These other economies are being developed. Like Singapore is like a developed nation. Okay, China is a developed nation. Now there's still a lot of ruralness to it. There's still a lot of people in poverty to it. But they're like a very high. You got these nations that are super high tech. Well, China just came out with the new AI, that shocked the tech community, because they built an AI model like OpenAI. OpenAI costs hundreds of billions, and this they call it DeepSeek AI with China. They built it for like $5 million. And it's just as good, if not better, and it's free. It's open source, if you know what that means. Let me get. I'm going to Ezekiel. Just give me a second, just real quick, because you have this economic power that's being created, but you can pretty much say that that's a military power as well. The Brics nations, and I want to just type that in real quick. Okay, let me hold the Ezekiel 38, but let me actually go on that the nations that are part of the Brics, because it's increasing. Like more nations are being accepted into this system that rivals the American system. Okay, and they're all digital too. At the end of the day, they're all together. Ultimately the wicked elite, they play both sides. Okay, Brics nation. At the end of the day, they play both sides, and they're gonna merge everything together anyway into this digital system. Okay, but that's how it's playing. That's how it's playing out. Right, because the new news is that Cuba is joining the BRICS. This is 10 hours ago. Cuba joining BRICS is a lifeboat for its economy. Yeah, because the West, they suppress Cuba and different nations like that. They don't allow them to build up their infrastructure, their tech, their society. Because you got to get loans. Their railroads. Well, the BRICS, they can come together, and they're now starting to do it. All right, so Cuba has joined the BRICS. Okay. It says Trump threatens 100% tariffs on BRICS nations. Well, you're isolating yourself. You do that, nobody is going to want to deal with America. Prices are going to skyrocket. Okay, prices are going to skyrocket, and you're going to be isolated. Pretty much, Trump is here to usher in the complete collapse. The complete collapse of Babylon the Great, just like ancient Rome. It was a decline. Okay, it was a decline, and we're living in that decline. Yeah, and then Trump, when he was speaking the other day, he said that Spain was part of the BRICS. He just be talking. Let me see something. Joined. I want to see how many nations joined with BRICS. Okay, yeah, Indonesia just joined the BRICS. And the average American here in Babylon the Great, they don't really know what that means. Okay, what is this BRICS thing? See, they don't understand economics. They don't understand what this means to their dollar. They don't even know why prices are getting higher. They don't understand inflation. They just know that gas is higher, or bread is higher, or there's a shortage on eggs. That's all they know, because they've been on top for so long. But now we're in a time where America, economically, is going to start to it's waning. Right? Indonesia officially becomes full member of BRICS, meaning they're going to do deals together. They're going to do trade together. I'm going to go back to Obadiah, but let me, that's kind of all I needed. I mean, you can go more into that if you want. I just want to read a little bit in Ezekiel, because Russia militarily is going to be, the head leader that's protecting all these different nations. Okay. All right, and Russia's economy is, all these economies are all messed up, but Russian economy is strong. I would say it's stronger than America. They have more protectionism. They have more, sense of nation. All right, Ezekiel 38:2, it says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. The chief prince in Hebrew is Russia, Ra'ashar, and prophesy against it. Yeah, because ultimately all you heathen nations are going to be brought down. And Russia is an Edomite nation. Okay, you got Jake that's mixed in there. Just it's like similar to America. You got Israelite foreigners that look like the Russians. And say, thus said the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O God, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, because Russia doesn't want to go to war with America. Ultimately, Russia at one point, they wanted to join, the EU, because they are like a European nation, but they're more east. They were like never accepted into Europe. They're like neighbors of Europe, but they're also neighbors of Asia, which they're pretty much Asia. That whole continent is Asia. Okay, but they've never really were accepted into Western Europe. Okay, just give me a second. So we've been speaking about BRICS for a couple of years, but now these things are starting to manifest themselves, and you Americans are going to start to feel the pain, like more inflation. You're going to start to feel the pain at the pump. In other nations, they're going to stop doing trade with you, because the BRICS nations make up a large part of the world economy. Okay? And everything is connected. You know, everything is connected, and it's not gonna be a good look. Okay, it's not gonna be a good look to America when all these nations turn against America. And this is like the beginning stage of all this stuff happening. You know, this is the beginning stage of these nations starting to break away from America, but they didn't have the position. They didn't have the opportunity to break away from America economically, because that's really how America wages its wars. The majority of its wars that America wages is economic war. It's not even, send troops. America don't really send troops in like that. They wage war against you economically, and they turn your population against the rulers, and then they overthrow the government, and they set up a puppet that would do their bidding. That's the war that America wages. Okay, and that has been they've been so successful in doing. But now there's like a new system in town, which again is all set up really to bring this whole world into a global society, I should say. Okay, because America's going to really collapse. Okay, America's going to be brought. The elite are going to bring, which really is the Most High. The Most High is really going to bring America to their knees. They're gonna beg to be part of this new world to the order. All right, because these nations are gonna stop doing trade with America. These nations are gonna we go back to Obadiah. Is going to talk about how your allies are going to basically forsake you. Okay, and the Lord is going to turn your allies, especially your allies, and as well as your enemies, they're going to have an evil eye towards you. It's going to be, there's another scripture where it says, pretty much she has given her hand. Basically, she's ready. Okay. Let me go back to Ezekiel, and then we'll go to Obadiah. Go back to Obadiah. Right. It says, and I will turn thee back, and I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. So it's really the Heavenly Father that is orchestrating all this. And that's going to orchestrate Russia saying to hell with America, F America, because Russia is using a lot of restraint. Putin really could shoot the missile, because America is constantly encroaching and funding the war against Russia. Like there's parts of Russia that have been invaded by Ukraine. Okay, and there's no way that Ukraine could have did that without the help of America and NATO. So America and Russia, these two superpowers, these two nuclear superpowers, they're literally in a hot war with each other, but it's not being called that. Okay. It's being called a proxy war. Nobody's really saying the obvious. Okay, but the writing is on the wall. Okay, and the Lord is going to put a heavy spirit upon Russia to say to hell with it, man. Okay. And all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords, those missiles, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, and all those nations, okay, which those were part of the nations that America and the state of Israel wanted to overthrow in 7 years. Okay. I forget exactly what they called it. Damn, I was just listening to it again the other day. But basically they wanted to, basically overthrow, which they overthrew Libya. Right there. And there's conflict in Ethiopia. They broke up Ethiopia because you got Ethiopia and you got Eritrea. And you got a lot of wars going on there. They keep those people at war. Okay, that's how you divide and conquer. Okay, and they're trying to do the same thing with Persia, which is Iran. You see, last year, the state of Israel and Iran, they shot missiles at each other. Okay. But see, Russia is going to be a guard. Well, let me read it. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with the other. So there's going to be a coalition of nations, which is pretty much like the Brics nations. That's the economic coalition. But then if you're partners economically, more than likely you're going to be partners militarily. Because why do nations go to war with each other? Well, it's over economics. It's over resources. Okay. It says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself. Right. So what's happening? These nations are preparing. Russia, they got a large standing military, man. They still, and you got individuals that live in Russia. Them Russians, they're like actively joining the war. Now, of course, you got some people that don't want to go to war, but you have individuals that are signing up to fight for the motherland. You don't have that here in America. So they're preparing themselves. All right, they're not going to openly tell you, yeah, we're preparing to go to war with America, but that's the obvious move. While you Americans, you want to be a social media influencer, and you in the gym, and you eat Wingstop. Them other nations, they're preparing to go to war with you, man. China preparing, Iran is preparing. They're building missiles. And prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. Best believe they're speaking like, hey, look, we're going to have to go to war with America. We're going to have to just be chill. We preparing. We let's prepare. Okay. And they're linking up economically. All right, to do trade so they can become stronger partners. Because if America doesn't like you and doesn't like your ally, or doesn't like who you associate with, they'll throw sanctions on you. They'll stop you from, participating in trading amongst the nations. They'll isolate you. They'll pretty much cripple you and turn and make you into a poor ass nation, even though you have, you might have, all type of resources, but you can't process those resources, nor can you sell those resources to anybody else. Okay. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. See? So America just can't go into North Korea. They just can't go into Iran. They just can't go into some of these countries because what? Russia is there. Russia is giving these nations loans. Okay. Russia is also backing them up via their military, giving them a better deal, working with them. Okay. And they're like, hey, look, if we come together,
If we come together and we trade amongst each other, we don't need America. Okay, there's a new kid in town. There's a new sheriff in town. And that's pretty much what the Brics is. It's the new sheriff in town that's going to rival the American system. So if you want to cut off, if you like, for example, America, Russia is the most sanctioned country. Well, it didn't do anything. It only strengthened their ties with other nations. So they start trading amongst each other. Say, well, shit, we might not like each other, but shit, we got a common enemy. So let's just link up. Let's do trade with each other. Here, I'm going to sell you this. You going to sell me that. Let's do a trade agreement. All right. Well, shit, let's do an arms agreement. I'll sell you arms. I'll give you protection. I'll help you build your nuclear facilities. Right? You give me those raw materials. I'll do this for you. And America doesn't like that. But see, what's happening is America can't do nothing about it. Okay? Because Russia, GOG, it had that thing. Got that thing on them. That blicky. Okay? The nuclear missiles. So America has to tread lightly now. So, and it's not as strong. Like Trump, well, Trump said the day one he gets into office, he gonna stop the war. He ain't did shit. He talking about Putin better do this. Putin ain't doing nothing. Okay. So that's one promise that he didn't fulfill, and he can't. Okay. They don't like to talk about it, but that's what's happening. He couldn't do anything. Okay, so let me go back to Obadiah. Let me finish this up. Obadiah I'm reading verse 4 again. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord. Yeah, so America is rapidly declining. Okay, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? In the meanwhile, while all these things are happening geopolitically, this damn devil's being exposed for all the wickedness that he does. The wickedness that he's actively doing, and the wickedness that he has done, and his plots, his plans for the wickedness that he wants to fulfill. All the men of thy confederacy, all right, which means, like your allies, individuals that you have agreements with, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. So you have these nations that are, at peace with America, that are, allies with America, that have different trade agreements with America, arms agreements with America. They pretty much they're behind your back making deals with the enemy. They're linking up with each other to find and the Most High is going to set the perfect opportunity for them to come against you. And see, that's going to terrify and surprise and shock. It's going to shock the average American because they've been on top so long, especially the red-blooded Edomite. Okay? The red-blooded Edomite that has, used his American citizenship, his American, pride to basically be proud against everybody else on the earth. I'm better than you. I'm from America. Even Europe. Even against the different European nations. With those are Edomites too, but in them European nations they hate you. Because you think that you're the top of the top when you really your cuisine is the worst. Your infrastructure is shit. Like, but the majority of the innovation does come out of America. But America has also the Israelites. That's the reason why. You know, the innovation comes out of America. Okay. But you have the Israelites that's driving that. But of course, we're not going to get credit for that. Right. It says, it prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, that take all your, because America sends, hundreds of billions of dollars a year to these different nations. Okay. Those same nations that take that money are going to be the same nations that are going to turn against you. So you pretty much are giving them like hush money. But there comes a point to where it's like, fuck your money. I was just doing it because I had no choice. There is none understanding in him, right? Because they're going to be like, how did this happen? I thought we were friends. Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of the mount of Esau? Right? And thy mighty men on Teman shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Let me get Revelation 17. I'm going to end it there. Because even your European allies, they're going to turn against you. Okay. The beast. America is the whore that rides on the beast. Okay. Your main ally, they call that the collective West, which is pretty much America, NATO, and the EU. Okay. Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which are those European nations, those main European nations, these shall hate the whore, right? Because they hate you because, number one, you got military bases in pretty much all of these European nations. I'm not sure. You might have one. Let me see if you have one in France. I know you got America got like 30 military bases in Germany. I know it has one in Portugal. Base. Let me see. France. I'm not sure if it has one in France. It might have one. Yep. There's it says no U.S. Okay. There is. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think they have any in France. Right? I know it's Italy. You got Portugal. Germany. Right? Okay, the United States Air Force, USAF, and the United States Army, both have base. Okay, they do. But it says, but most of the USAF bases have been closed. So there is a base. Yeah. So America really sits on top like that whore. America really sits on top of the EU, which France is part. That's part of those nations that are going to turn on America. And France have nuclear missiles too. Okay. So America sits on top of those European nations. They got bases there, but they're going to hate you. And they already hate you because you're messing up their money. You're destroying their economy. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, because they also have nuclear capabilities. For the Most High has put in their hearts to fulfill his will, right? Because as we were saying earlier, this is the Heavenly Father that's going to put it in their minds. Just like Russia. The Most High is going to turn Russia back, meaning he's going to bring Russia forth and take Russia out of that I don't want to go to war spirit. Okay? And be that chief prince, to be that ambassador, to be the one that's going to lead the charge. All right, because they are very advanced. They're like the most advanced military on the planet. Okay, them Edomite Russians. And to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city. Yeah, what's the great city? What's the great city? Which these Christians would never agree to America being Babylon the Great. Because then that means that they will be destroyed. Well, here all they talk about is God loves everybody. But what about Babylon being destroyed? Did that happen yet? Which reigneth over the kings of the earth. See, is there a French base? Which just proves that if you type it in, the U.S. military bases around the world, you're going to get something like 780 or 800 to 880 military bases all around the world. And pretty much in all of those European nations, those main European nations, America has bases in those European nations. What does that mean? That means you're being occupied. Let me see this. How many foreign bear with me military bases in America? Look at that. The United States does not have any independent foreign military bases. But some U.S. bases host foreign military detachments. These detachments are often used to train foreign military. Yeah, there is no foreign military bases in America, but they have, where they'll link up and they'll train other militaries. But there is no foreign military bases in America. Like there's no French base in America. Okay. But America will allow, say, like the British. Yeah, they'll have joint, Yeah, but they'll allow the British to come over into their base, and it'd be like a joint endeavor. But it's not the British base. America has bases in all these different nations, man. Which just shows you that America rules over the different kings of the earth. Okay. That's the proof right there. That's the proof that America is that great city, which ruleth over the kings of the earth. What is a military base, a military installation in your land? What does that say? That says that, yeah, you might be, you're pretty much a tributary. They didn't take you over and put you in captivity per se. All right. But you give them, you allow them, whether it's you allow them into your market, they hold some type of military strategic, power. They can fly in their airplanes there. They have, diplomatic immunity. Ain't no Japanese base in America, but there's American bases in Japan. It's like 30 of them or 60 of them. It's a lot. Okay. So, I'm gonna close it there. All right. this place is pretty much done until next time. Shalom to the elect.